Hello, YouTube. I thought I would do another DC Universe animated movie review. This is actually one that I've been thinking about reviewing for some time, and it's actually one of my favorites. Batman and Superman: Battle of the Super Sons. Um, Now, um, this movie is again, it's part of the DC Universe animated original movie, universe. Um, and unlike all of the other previous movies, this this one was actually the first one to use CGI. Um, so the animation style is the animation style in this one is very, very different, than their usual, you know, than their usual style for these movies. But so this one is the um, what sets this one apart from now obviously there have been quite a few Batman and Superman um animated movies, right? There's Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. There's Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. um there's there's the Batman and Superman um movie that you know from way back when. But this one is actually this one isn't really about Batman and Superman. It's about really this one is about their kids. um this one is really about their kids. Damian Wayne, who is Robin, um, who is Robin in this movie, and Jonathan Kent, who who is Superman's son. Um, so this movie opens with Krypton's destruction, and it with the destruction of Krypton. Um, and his parents are, Superman's biological parents, are sending him away in the spaceship that will, take him to Earth. And um and then we get a little bit and then as the credits roll, we get a little bit of like a recap, I guess you could call it, of Superman's um I guess you could call it like of Superman's life. Um we get like images, kind of like recapping, Superman's life, taking us to where the movie is taking place now. So we get you know so we get a picture of, of like Superman, arriving in the rocket and him landing on, the Kent farm. We get a picture of Martha Kent and, of Martha and Jonathan Kent, raising, Clark Kent. Um, and then and then we get a picture of, of them passing. They are not in this. They are not in this movie. They passed. Um, these are all, all the stuff that I'm mentioning right now is just, like recaps. Is all the stuff that I'm mentioning now are pictures that are shown in the opening credits of the movie, just basically, like recapping, um, certain events in Superman's life. Um, so then, and then we see picture, and then we get, and then we get other pictures showing, like Superman revealing his identity to Lois, them getting married. Um, Batman, Batman and Superman, Batman and Superman, Batman and Superman, meeting and becoming friends. Um, so just, various important, events that, that have built up to this point. Um, so the movie opens and it is Jonathan Kent's 11th birthday. Um, Now in um, he does not yet know that his father is Superman. Um, so he, um, so Jonathan is, um, so Clark is basically, Clark Kent, is leaving, um, is, he is, he is, like leaving abruptly saying, oh, I have to go deal with something. I'll be back. Um, so he has no clue, that his father is Superman. Um, and, but we get um, but what leads him to, find out, in this movie is, Jonathan Kent is, um, he has a baseball game. Um, he has a baseball game, and Jonathan has not discovered, he has not discovered his powers yet. So he's at, so he's at his so he's at, his baseball game, and um, he is very, very disappointed that, that Clark, isn't there, after he said that he would be. Um, so he gets, so when he gets home, he is, he's obviously not happy at all. He's very disappointed, that he wasn't there. Um, it, it, and when Clark comes home and tries to, talk to Jonathan about it, Jonathan just, doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear, he doesn't want to hear, like his excuses and yada yada yada. So he runs off, and because of the, um, because of the trauma that he is, that he is feeling, he's running, he starts running, and then his traumatic experience triggers his heat vision, which so his um you know so so his so his powers are starting to kick in, basically. This is It's interesting because, everybody knows that, when Superman, when he was a baby, his powers, pretty much kicked in, like when he first got to Earth. Um, Jonathan, um, Jonathan's, remember, Jonathan is turning 11 in this movie, and he still has yet to discover, um, his, his ability. So um, so his powers are literally just starting to kick in now. Um, so, and that of course leads, Clark to finally, reveal to, to Jonathan, that he's Superman. And he pretty much reacts how an 11-year-old would react. He's like, he's like over the moon about it. He can't believe it. He is, he is, um, he's over the moon about it. He's like beyond excited. He's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And just, yeah, again, he's reacting pretty much how, you would expect, a kid to react when he discovers, that he has superpowers. So, um, so they take, and, so he so he and Jonathan go to Gotham, and they meet, um and they go to Gotham, and they meet up with Batman. And Jonathan obviously, has yet to meet Batman, so he's excited. Um and he is but Superman basically goes to, Batman, his best friend, for help, saying, trying to figure out, if Jonathan's powers, are going to manifest like, like Superman's did. Like, is it just going to be heat? Is it just going to be heat vision, or is it going to be, like all of Superman's powers? And, um, and that of course, is where Jonathan meets, Damian. Now, Damian, they this is their first time meeting. Jonathan, and Damian are, um, they're pretty much the, much like Batman and Superman. They're the complete opposite of one another. Um, and Damon and Damian, obviously being raised by, Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadows. Damian doesn't, um Damian doesn't really, he doesn't, Damian, like he doesn't, like deep down, there's a part of him that wants to, please, his father, and that wants to be, wants to be good. Because remember, he was raised, by Ra's al Ghul, so he was brought up to do, like evil things. And, but Batman is obviously trying to teach Damian, you don't have to be that way. There, you have a choice. And, he's trying to teach him, that there's another way, um, that there's another way of doing things. But he's also trying to teach him discipline. And that's something, that Damian, in the beginning of the movie, really lacks. He's not, um, he's very much, like this dark, um, like this, like kind of like this dark, bratty kind of, um, kind of kid. But it's not, it's obviously not entirely Damien's fault, because remember, it's the way that he was raised. Um, so, um, so he meets, so they meet up with Batman, um, and Damian and Jonathan, obviously they start off, like not really liking each other. Um, Damian, um, Damian doing, Damian, being Damian, kind of, um, you know, kind of starts off like bullying, Jonathan a little bit, just um, like pushing him around, and just kind of acting all, like superior, and, um, but, and as the movie goes on, different, Jonathan, his powers, start to manifest, and he becomes, excuse me, and he starts to become, more and more, like his dad. And he starts having, um, he starts having, the same powers, as Superman. So, but they are put in a position, both Damian and Jonathan are put in a position where it's up to them to basically save the Justice League and the world. Um, because this isn't really a spoiler, because if you see the back cover here, um, the entire world is taken over by Starro the Conqueror. And um, if you have seen James Gunn's Suicide Squad movie, you are going to know who Starro the Conqueror is. But if you've seen either that one or this movie, you're going to know who that is. So Damian, so both Batman, Superman, the entire Justice League, the Teen Titans, the entire world are being controlled by Starro the Conqueror. And it's up to Damian and Jonathan to um, to basically save the world, and their dads, and the Justice League, basically, the entire world. And um, one of the things I really love about this movie is um, this movie very much feels like a buddy cop type movie, because they start off, not liking each other, but then as the movie goes on, um, they really, really start to like each other, and um, they really, really develop, like that bromance um, that Batman and Superman have. Um, there's um, there's a great deal of humor in this movie. Their relationship, Damian and Jonathan's relationship, their dynamic, um, as their bromance blossoms. Um, they really start to just, like, joke around with one another, and really, um, there's this really funny scene. There's this really funny scene where Damien has to go to Jonathan's school and basically say, "Hey, I need your help." Um, and um, the bully that bullies Jonathan, um, comes over and um, uh, and um, he says to he says to and obviously he starts thinking, that he can take Damien. Um, so literally all Damien does is just hits him with two fingers, and which causes him to basically, like, be, like, stiff as a board, and then fall to the floor. And Jonathan goes, "What did you do?" And Damien's like, and Damien goes, "Paralyzing technique I learned from my grandfather. He should recover in about a week." And then Jonathan's like, "A week?" And just, like, moments like that just um you know moments like that just really, really show, like, their bromance and their dynamic together. Just, makes this movie just a very, very fun, um just, like, a very, very, like, fun time. um this one is this one is just, like, I had a blast with this one. This one is um and like I said before, it's very much about, it's it's basically the origin of the Super Sons. Um, because remember, Jonathan and Damien are, are meeting, are meeting for the first time, and they are put in a position where it's up to them to save the world. Um, but yeah, no, this movie is just, it's funny. Um, it's funny. It's lighthearted. Um, it's funny. It's lighthearted. It's exciting. Um, it's everything that you would, um, it's everything that, you know, it's, um, it's everything that you come to expect with these animated movies, um, it's just a fun time. I know I keep saying fun, but it really is. It's just a fun, you know, it's just a fun movie. It's just a and and it's very much like a buddy cop story, because they're um it's very much like a buddy cop type story, because they're constantly like joking with one another, back and forth. And um but yeah, no, this one is just is one of my favorites. If you haven't seen this one, you definitely need to give it a watch, because it is very, very much worth your time. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, what you thought of it. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.